So you're thinking of going solar-powered. In this video, we'll explain how it works, the benefits, your predicted generation and running costs, and return on investment. So how do solar PV and battery systems work? Solar PV, or photovoltaics, converts sunlight into electricity. The sun's light in the form of photons strikes a semiconductor cell in the solar panels, which allows a DC electrical current to travel through wires to a box called an inverter, which is mounted behind the panels. These are called microinverters. The inverter transforms the solar DC power into AC, grid power, which then simply connects into your mains electrical system in the house. This system uses microinverters made by Enphase. Each microinverter sends its information to the gateway in the electrical cupboard, which in turn send the information to the dedicated Enphase cloud server, from where it is possible to view energy generation and consumption from the Enphase app or via a browser. The microinverters are also a great way to deal with shading and different light levels in the sky very efficiently. A microinverter system boasts a higher overall electricity yield. By using your solar energy when the sun is shining, you directly offset the need to draw electricity from the grid during those expensive daytime periods. So when the sun shines, you might switch on your washing machine, dishwasher, or electric vehicle. It's all about utilizing your free energy as much as possible to maximize your savings on your electricity bill. Every kilowatt of solar energy you use directly reduces carbon emissions. It's a tangible contribution to combating the environmental crisis. Imagine if every household embraced this approach. We'd move significantly closer to that zero-carbon, zero-energy world we all aspire to. With advanced battery technology, you can store your surplus solar energy to use later, allowing you to power your home through the evening to dawn, giving you solar energy round the clock. The battery will also work in tandem with the solar panels during the day and supplement the solar energy, depending on the home's consumption. The Enphase IQ battery system includes a battery cell pack with integrated IQ microinverters, the same as used with the solar panels, and a battery management system called a BMS. The system uses what's called a gateway and communications kit. The IQ Gateway measures PV production, the battery charge and discharge power, and home energy consumption, and it senses when it is optimal to charge or discharge the battery so that energy is stored when it is abundant and used when it is scarce. The batteries can also be charged from the mains during low-rate times to then be used during high-rate to help further reduce your running costs. A battery is not mandatory for your solar energy system, however. When you generate more than you use, this energy feeds out to the grid, and Guernsey Electricity will pay you a tariff for this exported energy. If you do have a battery, once the storage system is charged, any excess also gets exported to the grid. This exported energy then gets shared with your local community, another feel-good factor. Guernsey generated green energy shared with the island. Because islanders are paid for generating and sharing their energy, it means less energy is having to be purchased from Europe, a great economic gain for the island, as it means this money stays in the local economy instead of going off-island. In the proposal we give you, we provide a predicted generation of kilowatt-hours for your solar system. We've calculated this using a combination of historical weather data specific to Guernsey, including average weather conditions and solar irradiance patterns. We also took into account potential shading on the solar panels, as well as their orientation, whether they're facing east, west, or south. Additionally, we considered the equipment being used, including the type of microinverters and the specifications of the solar panels themselves. When we bring all these factors together, we arrive at an annual yield estimate in kilowatt-hours. Next, we work out the potential displaced electricity costs. This involves looking at your predicted annual kilowatt-hours from solar generation and comparing it to the price of the high-rate electricity tariff for Economy 12. We also factor in the export tariff for any surplus energy that gets exported to the grid. To simplify the calculation, we average your electricity usage, assuming you would use half of your solar-generated electricity to offset the high-rate tariff while exporting the other half at the export tariff. Of course, results may vary depending on individual circumstances. These predictions are based on averages between import and export. Your actual energy management will influence the results. For instance, if you're out of the house during the day, your energy use might be lower, allowing you to export more. On the other hand, if you work from home frequently, are retired, or simply use more energy during the day, your daytime energy use will likely be higher, leading to greater consumption of your generated energy. Now, let's dive into the financial side of things, your return on investment, ROI. Based on this average displaced figure, we can then calculate your return on investment. This takes into account the cost of your solar system, along with the savings you'll achieve by offsetting your electricity consumption and exporting energy back to the grid. Typically, the average ROI for a solar system ranges from 5% to as much as 12% and varies based on energy use, system size, the property, and current energy costs. With electricity prices having increased in Guernsey by a staggering 40.61% since 2019, the cost of energy keeps climbing. So it's also important to note that if electricity prices rise, the percent return on investment will increase accordingly, making your solar system even more valuable over time. The return on investment for solar easily surpasses traditional savings accounts and most low-risk investment options. In fact, we often like to say, it's better than money in the bank. And here's why. Solar is a tangible, reliable asset that immediately starts paying dividends. With energy prices on the rise, the value of your solar system increases over time. Every kilowatt-hour of energy you produce reduces your reliance on the grid, which means you're effectively locking in a portion of your electricity costs at a stable, predictable rate, something no other energy source can offer. Unlike most financial investments, where returns are subject to market fluctuations and interest rates, solar provides consistent savings year after year, while reducing your carbon footprint, a win-win for your wallet and the planet. The initial outlay will have paid for itself several times over, delivering consistent returns without the volatility of the stock market. In essence, solar is not just an investment in energy independence, but a hedge against rising utility prices and an opportunity to secure long-term financial gains. But of course, the most important saving of all, a habitable planet for generations to come. It's an investment for all our future, and with each home, each community, and each jurisdiction taking steps towards zero carbon, we move closer to a world that no longer relies on harmful, finite resources. As you consider solar energy, remember that transforming your home into a renewable energy powerhouse is more than just a personal achievement. It's a meaningful contribution to a sustainable planet. Every watt you generate is a watt for the world. So together, let's make a difference, one home at a time.